Hey Pisces, welcome to your reading for April. Let's jump in and see what April has in store for you. Messages for Pisces for the month of April. Hope you all are doing well. Oh, that was fast. All right, I have wishful thinking. You are learning how to manifest the life that you desire. Excellent, Pisces. So this tells me that you are in alignment with all the things that you wish to manifest in your external world, which means that it starts from the inside, okay? So whatever we put our focus, intention, thoughts, and actions into, it's what creates our outside physical world and experience. So it looks to me that you've actually entered into a beautiful space where you've learned that balance and how to focus on the positive with the glass being half full versus the negatives of the glass being half empty and focusing on what you lack. So good for you, Pisces. It is a very difficult energy to get in balance with. I have veiled and rebirth coming out here for you. Okay, so this tells me that there might be things that you're not really sure if they're actually coming together or not. You may be wondering, all of this time and energy that I'm putting in on doing some work, some healing, and moving on from some experiences in my life and taking those lessons forward. I'm putting all this positive intention in, and maybe you're even putting actionable steps into place into the real world and, trying to procure results. But, you're not really sure what's happening now, okay? So just because you can't see what's happening or see, down the path and, what destination it may land on, it doesn't mean that those things aren't manifesting, okay? So what they do is that they kind of start, in the energy field, and then they bring themselves down into reality. So what it is just really holding space for those things. So once we've kind of already, kept our thoughts in alignment on positive things, we worked through our stuff, we've done our healing, we have an attitude of gratitude, then we just kind of hold space. And the way that we hold space, waiting for those manifestations to play out in our reality, is that we just kind of allow things to play out and have faith in the unknown and have faith that those things are coming into your life. Okay. So have faith, Pisces. Everything that you're kind of hoping for right now looks like it's being worked on and will come out. Doesn't mean that it's just going to drop down all at once, like, Santa down the chimney with his bag full of gifts. I wish. But, what's going to happen is that these things may slowly start to come into play in your life. Okay. So then just don't lose faith because you can't see it all or because you're not receiving everything exactly the way that you had pictured it to be, hoped it would be, or, whatever it is, Pisces. Just make sure that you're remaining open-minded and positive in your thinking in the way that this may come together for you, okay? And even in what time. This could be something where these manifestations are going to come out and here start to come in, and you'll start to see signs of it here in the month of April, but you may see it trickle in through the rest of the year or in the coming years, okay? So just have faith, Pisces, and keep the energy going, because whatever you're doing it right. So just keep going and keep the faith, keep the attitude of gratitude, and things will begin to play out for you, and you'll start to see those positive manifestations coming into your world, okay? So messages for Pisces for the month of April, please. For Pisces. I have fear and anxiety. Again, it's kind of just reiterating what I was just saying, Pisces. You might be falling into a place where you're starting to fear the worst case scenario, that these things aren't really coming forward for you, that nothing's ever going to work out, because nothing's really happening. Maybe you're just feeling like, you're staying really stuck and stagnant, and you're just beginning to think that nothing's ever going to come together. But, all that really does is create that fear and anxiety, and it creates a little bit of a fog within us, and it creates an illusion that nothing's ever going to happen. So you don't want to fall, have made all of this progress where those things are manifesting in the energetic realm and just need to come down to the physical realm. But basically, you can kind of undo all of that, or you can inadvertently block those blessings from coming in, and especially quickly or smoothly, or, in a positive way, in a magical, miraculous way that you should be surprised by falling into fear and anxiety that things aren't playing out or coming together for you. Okay. So just take a moment, Pisces, take a breath, know that these things are coming for you, and just stay out of that place of fear and anxiety. Okay. Because it can really wreak havoc on your mind and your heart and your nervous system. And you don't want to inadvertently block your blessings. Okay. Messages for Pisces for April, please. I have the first light beginning a new cycle. So this doesn't surprise me, Pisces. It tells me that, you're entering into a brand new cycle of blessings and good things. You've closed out whatever old things you had going on, especially here in the month of April. We're really closing out very significant karmic cycles that we've had, especially with soulmates, whether it's platonic, romantic, work-wise. It doesn't matter. It's relative all across the board. But what that tells me here is that you're beginning to see the first light of a new dawn of a new day, Pisces. And so have no fear. It may be that you're like, man, I did all this work and where's my results? I've done all the work. I've kept a positive mind. I've taken actionable steps and, nothing's really playing out for me. Is this even really a new beginning or am I just kind of like, stuck where I'm at, forever? And that's not what's really happening. Okay. What's happening is creating an illusion that's creating those thoughts that are just kind of keeping things foggy and veiled within you. And so what's happening here is it's actually the beginning, but we have endings and beginnings that kind of take place at the same time. And so you can be in a bit of a position where it's a little bit uneasy and you can really be tricked into thinking that things aren't going to come together for you, but they actually are. Okay. So take comfort in knowing, Pisces, that you are in a new beginning. Okay. It may just not feel or look the way that you think it should. Okay. But it's definitely here. Let's take a look at the overall energy for April. I have the sun. Okay, Pisces. Where there is fog, you will start to see the first light of a new beginning, new abundant future, new wonderful things coming in for you when the sunlight shines through the clouds that have been through the storm. Okay. So Pisces, just take comfort in the knowing, in knowing that, really good things are coming your way. The overall energy being the sun, you really can't get any better than that. So congratulations. You've come a long way. Your hard work is paying off. Keep the positive attitude, and things will begin to start to get brighter for you. Okay. Let's take a look at the recent past for Pisces, please. Recent past. I have the Emperor. All right, Pisces, you're all up in boss energy here. So this tells me that you took full on control of your life, your happiness, your well-being. Whatever happened to you in the past, long gone. You're not even looking in the rearview mirror because you're not going that way. You are taking charge and responsibility of your life, your happiness, and your experience. And because of that, you're doing the healing and you're aligning with a higher vibrational level, which brings in higher vibrational energies and new beginnings, new experiences, and all the things that you're hoping will come together for your life. Okay. So take note that whatever you're doing, Pisces, you're doing right. So keep doing it. Let's take a look at the present energy, please, for April. I have the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, I want to be a Pisces. That's it. That's just all there is to it right now. Your energies are beautiful, Pisces. So whatever it is you're feeling, like stop. Just, listen to the rest of this message and rewind it over and over again if you need to. So if you ever fall back into, the energy of wondering if things are really coming into play for you and things are going to work out for you in your favor, just come back to this, replay it, and get that confirmation again. Okay. So the 10 of Pentacles being in your present energy, you're very, very focused on building that solid foundation, that legacy that you want it to be. That could be something financially, career-wise, home-wise. Maybe you're buying a new home or looking to buy a new home. You're starting a family. You're just wanting to leave a legacy of who you are and the best life possible behind you when you're gone. Okay, so this tells me that you're really in that energy, really focused on what the future holds and looking at making your life as abundant as it possibly can. So this is a perfect energy to be in. Let's take a look at the near future, Pisces. Near future for Pisces, please. King of Swords for the near future. Okay, Pisces, this is another great energy. So you have a very masculine energy that is really taking precedence over your reading today. And that doesn't necessarily mean gender. You can be male, female, whatever, you're doing here. It's just an energy. And what this energy is when you're in these king energies and especially the emperor energy, he embodies all of the kings and all of their elements and has really mastered those and is able to flow in and out easily of those energies, okay, in order to produce the life that he wants and to reign over the world and maintain it the way that he has established it and worked so hard to gain, okay, over his kingdom, his castle, his everything, okay? So when you're in the King of Swords energy for the near future, this tells me that you're just straight up. You know exactly where you're going. You mean business, and you're going to do what you need to do to get where you're going, and ain't no one going to get in your way. So good for you, Pisces. You're in a really good energy to make that life that you're dreaming of an absolute reality. Let's take a look at some advice for you, Pisces. The advice is the Tower. Okay, so the tower is again just kind of saying like what I was implying before. The advice to you is to just kind of like make sure that you're not just getting too gung ho, that you're not just action, 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 and just, moving without thought because things are moving forward or you want them to happen. Okay, this can be an energy where if you push, 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 and try to control the outcome and when it happens, how it happens, and what it looks like, you might be in for a surprise where things just kind of crumble and fall apart. Okay, it's kind of like if you build a car and you just kind of piece it together real quick. You're like, hey, it needs an engine and I'll just kind of throw it together. It needs new tires and, I'll just throw in whatever I've got. They're kind of mismatched. It'll be fine. And then you're like, yeah, I finally got my dream car. Then you're driving down the road and that thing just busts down on the freeway. So this is kind of what they're telling you, Pisces, is don't get ahead of yourself. Things are playing out the way that they need to play out, but you also need to have faith and allow these things to flow into your life the way that they're meaning to flow in and need to flow in, because things need to really align for you in order for things to play out. It's not just you that's affected, it's people around you, situations around you that are directly affected by these positive changes even. And so things just need to be lined up correctly. And this is where divine timing comes into play. Also, make sure that you're open to all possibilities. With, the tower being in your energy of what your advice is, it's also saying, hey, allow yourself to be surprised. Allow yourself to have these random things come in and be pleasantly surprised by them. Life is so short. We have so few moments of just absolute surprise and magic. So make sure that you're remembering that and, allowing the magic to happen. Spirit loves to, surprise us in the most amazing, wonderful ways. And it's when we least expect them and we just let go and have faith that they start to come in. Okay, so that is your advice, Pisces. Allow the magic to happen in your life. Let's take a look at what's hidden, what you're not seeing, just in case there's something that might help you find more clarity on this situation, okay? I have the Six of Pentacles. So what's hidden here, Pisces, is that you just kind of are feeling really good. You're in a place where your energy and your environment, your job, your home life, your personal life, whatever it is that's going on, here in the background, things are really beginning to balance out. Okay, so even though you may not be seeing the physical results coming in quickly or at all yet, it's just saying that at the very least, right now, things are balancing out in the physical energies. Okay, so just make sure that you're taking note of the things that are actually happening for you and actually be grateful for the abundance that you already have. And things will begin to kind of even out, level out, and unblock and allow those, energies to move forward and those manifestations to come in. Okay, let's take a look at what you don't see coming in the month of April, Pisces. What does Pisces not see coming in the month of April? Oh my gosh. Okay, Pisces, I just can't. You're awesome. I have the King of Pentacles coming out in what you don't see in the month of April. Okay, so again, boss energy. I'm probably going to title this reading Boss Energy because you're good. You are doing something right, Pisces, and I may need to get in touch with you and hit you up on some advice on what to do to get where you're going and where you've been. So here, what you don't see coming in the month of April is the King of Pentacles. This is just feeling good. This is feeling really good, solid, grounded in what you've accomplished and really knowing that you've accomplished, finding value in the lessons that you've learned, understanding that all of the experiences that you have had, even though they've been painful, some have been good, some have been really trying for you possibly, that all of it paid off in the end. They all made you who you are and what you are today and have put you where you are today. You're stronger because of those experiences. So the King of Pentacles here is very solid in his 3D world. He knows what's up. He knows what's valuable, what's not. He's very, very wise. And he also can be in a position where he finds himself being able to pass along that wisdom and guidance to others. So you may find yourself being presented with opportunities, Pisces, where you may be a mentor to someone else, to where you can help guide them through some of their trying times in life and help them to get to a place where they have a solid foundation where you've been at and been able to achieve. Okay, so keep that in mind. This may be something that you're not seeing. You may put that friend off that's kind of asking you questions and be like, I don't really have time. I'm kind of focusing on what I'm doing, but keep an open mind because this may be an opportunity for you to be a mentor for someone else. Okay. So here at the bottom of the deck, I have the Empress. Okay, Pisces, I just can't anymore. You have the Emperor, the Empress, you have all the kings here almost. You're just basically, this is saying the world is your oyster. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. It's paying off and you are deserving of all of these great things. So keep going, mentor others. We stand upon the shoulders of those who came before us. Maybe just don't forget that, okay? So Pisces, I hope you found this reading to be helpful. And until I see you again, take care.